too smooth, that mud talking to have your ass in a wreck. Who's signing your check? Pussy better do what he says. We shutting down shows. Ain't gotta put no price in your head. Man, I'm coming for your tongue for all that shit that you said.
Gonna make the profiles boom, 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 boom. What it is, I'm gonna tell you again exactly what it is and what it ain't. What it ain't is added preservatives bullshit. What it is real talk by a real one in real life who's been really doing it, who's been really on those yards in a real way. In a Menudo style in direct fashion, as you can tell by that thumbnail, guerra, war. Man, 4 different group factions right there, 4 different organizations that are ready and willing and able to wiggle at all times. Now, this was brought to my attention. You know, and this is not to belittle anybody else's content or anything, man. Respects to all the content providers that are giving their opinions, that are out there doing their different concept and different ways of bringing content, and that are out there really doing their thing, man. Respects to you guys. I will say this, though. It's my turn to rock the mic with that real talk that I know you do like, right? In a real way, something went down. Something went down that I could have foreseen. I did foresee it. If you think back to say, since the wind's blowing, maybe 1 or 2 days ago, I spoke on a group organization that not a lot of people knew about, which was the Nueva Flores, right? Some people consider them a dropout group. I told you first and foremost that they were an active group that are really about their wiggle, that are really with the business. And I don't say that to push their agenda. I don't say that to further their fucking whatever they got going on. I'm neither here nor there. I don't got a horse in the race, but I say that to say this. It's a fact. It's a fact that these guys have been around for several decades now. And quietly as it's kept, man, they're down to handle their business. They are on general population. Now, not necessarily every yarda within CDC, but hey, Sasuke, every yarda ain't GP anyways. There's more SOYs than GP. That I can say. But I will tell you this. They are in Salinas Valley. Okay, and the makeup of Salinas Valley is you have several different yards, several different levels. There's several different ways to wiggle. And you have a yard where you actually have a split yard, meaning you have norteños active, sureños that are active or Southsiders, whites and blacks and others on one yarda, where on the other side of the yarda, you know, the division, you have active bulldogs, you have active Nueva Flores, which are considered norteño dropouts, but are not really dropouts. They're just norteños that don't follow under the NF umbrella, but continue to function just like an active norteño, other than that one thing right there. So they're considered trash in the eyes of an active norteño. But at the same time, man, these vatos will check your paperwork, will check your heart, will check your toenails, Sasuke, and peel you backwards. They ain't playing, right? And then, of course, you have some others and some Africanos. Now, politically, in prison, this is the division here. It's the GP, general population, people that consider themselves active because they still gonna go up under these 4 group organizations. And then you have the Vatos, man, that basically at once upon a time went against the grain, chose not to be part of that agenda, chose not to be part of that certain group segment, but still continue to push for theirs. Right? So you can't speak on people without really knowing what time it is. A lot of people like to speak on the Perro Chatos, the Bulldogs, the Fresno Bulldogs, thinking that they're a dropout gang or that they pulled away from this and that for one reason or another because they were scary. Child, that's further from the facts. The fact remains that these Vatos are still pushing their shit. They're still in that thing, doing their thing actively. They're just kept separated and segregated away from Norteños and Sureños because they know the funk is on. CDC knows that it's on site, man. And things that happen just the other day in Salinas Valley will continue to happen. Now, of course, with the Nueva Flores, it gets a little bit more tricky. It's a little bit more intricate. And I spoke on them the other day when I say that their group formulated out of oppression. Their group formulated out of a few plot and plans from a few individuals that decided they would defect from the Nuestra Familia and start their own thing. They still had that burning fire, that commitment, that desire. Orale, Rick James, Tina Marie. They still had that fire and desire to be a norteño and to still push the norteño narrative. They just didn't want to do it up under the carnales, okay? They wanted to do their own thing. They didn't want to adhere to the rules, regulation, and policies that are set, the foundation, the struggle. You know, they have their own struggle. Whatever the case may be, whether you think it's cool or not, those are facts. But then, Menudo style in direct fashion. And this is just the push. This is just the way it is. You know, and prison is prison. I told you it's a very dangerous place. So anyways, with that being said, of course, in Salinas Valley, you have these 4 different group segments. You sprinkle in the whites, of course, and the whites are going to rock with the Norteño Sureño side. Now, traditionally, it's always been a north-south issue. And for the most part, man, people play on that. You know, they say, okay, yeah, Norteños and Sureños, they're enemigas right off the top in prison, but times have changed. Okay, times have changed. I've told you before in several of my spills on Gunners Collective and right here on Gunners Profile, because this is Hood News, and I'll bring you Hood News 101. I'm telling you today, times have changed to the point where North and South are no longer beefing. You know, there's a hint to hostilities. There's a half 60. There's a soft defensive stance. But not only that, it's more so becoming us against them type thing. You know, the active against the non-active. It's been happening, but now vatos are starting to formulate clicas. Vatos are starting to click up. They're starting to rock together in guerra and war because, man, the non-actives or the degenerates or whatever you want to call them are getting much deeper, right? This has always been a fact. This has always been what's going to happen. More people don't want to function up under the rules. More people don't like to do burpees. Like, I ain't trying to do no burpee. You trying to do burpees? No, I ain't trying to do no burpees. Let's go over there to that guy. Over there, they don't have to do burpees. Then they get there and realize, okay, even over there, you will be doing some burpees. Bang, bang. I guess it just didn't work out for you, huh? But anyways, so you have a lot of dropout groups, a lot of these different gangs that are formulating, that are coming together, you know, because they feel some type of way. You know, the few friends get together and say, okay, what the fuck it? Let's start a thing called GBG. Why? Because you like sucker people. Do you like sucker people? Yeah, there it is. They all suck people. GBG. Just all these different little organizations, Two Fibers, Northern Riders, and then of course you have Nueva Flor who stand out above all the rest because they're different. Now you have the Zapatistas, and I don't even want to speak on them. Them vatos are killing everybody allegedly nowadays. But what happened to Salinas Valley was just this. There was a Norteño, a Sureño, and a white boy. They were actually going on a line movement to go work. Okay, when they were leaving on this line movement to go work, of course, there's no animosity, there's no hostility there between these three individuals. They're just from three different group segments, and they represent for what they're from. But they're not tripping. They're general population. And when you got to respect someone that's on GP, respect is a key word in prison. And you're just going on this line movement. They probably knew each other from, you know, being around, working at the same building, same spot. It ain't no thing but a chicken wing. So they're trying to go get their ranch on. So they're mobbing. On the other side of this wall, you have a gym, a gymnasium. Now, in this gym, there's a certain class. And in this class, man, you have several Fresno Bulldogs and you have several Nueva Flor, maybe about 10 to 15 individuals that are actually in this class. I'm doing whatever they got to do. I don't know if it was a cognitive skills class, some social thinking skills class, or whatever it may be, but they were out at the same time that they brought these three individuals out to go to work. Now, this was, you know, you don't fucked up, right, administration? This was a boo-boo. This was a boo-boo, and I'm going to tell you why it was a boo-boo. For the most part, usually they have everything safely secured. They know to keep these certain groups away from each other because prison politics dictate, man, everybody will be on site. Now, when it comes to the Bulldogs and the Nueva Flor, they can do pretty much what they want to do, right? But these two groups are very dangerous, very vicious. I've said it before. A lot of people like to sleep on them and think that they're just going to lay down and lick their paws, you know what I mean, or they're just going to sit there and bloom like a flower, while other vatos get off on them just because they're no longer considered active. But I told you, you don't have to be considered active to get active and function, right? In a Menudostan direct fashion, vatos will get off, and this is what happened this faithful day. Just the other day in Salinas Valley, a very notorious prison, a very well-known prison with a lot of historia for bloody battles and a lot of guerra, meaning a lot of war. You know, traditionally, North and South, Africanos and whites, Africanos and North and South, and everybody fights, right? So that's good. Why can't we just all get along? We're still gangbanging in 2022. It's weird. Anyways, trip out. What happened was there was a door that was left open. Now, was it left open purposefully? Was it an accident? Was it just a coincidence? One will never know, does one? I'm not the cucaracha that was crawling on the ground right there on the foyer to let you know, but I will tell you this, it was open. And immediately when the Bulldogs, the Fresno Bulldogs and the Nueva Flores, who do rock together, I'm not going to say that they're fucking best friends, like, yeah, you know, I mean, a bum, let's play paper, rock, and scissors, okay, orale. I'm not going to say that, but I will say that they live in the same, they're on the same yard and they function on the same yard peacefully, okay? They decided for no other reason, man. They're going to come through that door on that white boy, that Southsider, and that Norteño and do bad things to him, right? Do medieval things. They were going to get medieval on that ass, and they did. They did. And this is not to belittle those group organizations because, man, I got a lot of love and respect for the Norteños, the Sureños, and the Woodpile. But it was an ugly situation. When you got 10 Perro Bulldogs, Fresno Bulldogs, they bark and they bite viciously. And then, of course, you sprinkle in the Nueva Flores, who basically are norteños, but just not under the NF umbrella. So you already know what that wiggle is like. And they're on them. They were on these three guys. Pobrecitos, these guys. Of course, the norteño was able to secure himself. He was holding a pedazo. He was able to back up in a corner with this pedazo. I actually got information from someone who's in Salinas Valley himself. Actually gave me a little call. So I was scared. To what degree of call he gave me, I can't call it. You know what I mean? You'll never know and I'll never tell. But he gave me a phone call and he told me the whole get down, exactly how it went down. And he said that this vato, these three vatos were walking. This door popped. All these individuals came. He said it was about 7 Fresno Bulldogs and 3 Nueva Flores. And they immediately rushed and attacked these 3 guys. Upon rushing these guys, the norteño was able to back himself in a corner, to which allegedly he had a piece on him, or was seen to have something that resembled a pedazo or a piece, meaning he was probably secured. He probably was strapped up, ready. You know, when you're on these yards, all norteños will have weaponry on them. All norteños will be safely secured with something, supposedly or allegedly. You're supposed to, right? At least back in my days. I don't know how it is now. But this guy was rocking the way he was supposed to. He was ready. He was ready for whatever, you know. Because, of course, not only does he probably was not worried about the Bulldogs and the Nueva Flor. For the most part, they're kept separated. But he was actually going to a line movement with adversaries, with oppositions, with sureños and white boys. So he had to secure himself. That's how norteños think. It's norteños against everybody at the end of the day. And that's a fact. And these other 2 group segments, they were not properly secured. Now, to what degree of not properly secure, I can't call it like an alcoholic, but they just weren't ready for that guerra, other than fucking having hands and doing their thing, you know? I'm sure they were up to par, but at the same time, man, you never know when it pops off in prison. So these guys were able to come through these doors, these gates, and get off. And they did some horrific things to people. The norteño secured himself and was able to fight off these individuals, probably from these vatos with fear of getting poked. They didn't have no weaponry at the time, the Bulldogs and the Nueva Flor. The South Side and the white guy were pretty much stomped into confusion. And it's an ugly thing. But again, it's a fact of life. It's war. It's prison. It's what happens. Now, the big thing is everybody's the same. If you really think about it, everybody's the same. They just represent different organizations, different groups. Them vatos that came through that door, they were all brown like a motherfucker, right? Other than the white boy who was there like, what? Gunner said, I'm just sprinkled in for flavor. He was the one that on the outside looking in. And that's why he's still in the hospital right now, in fair condition, right? It was an ugly situation for that poor man. But I will say this, according to what the guy told me and according to what I've heard also, you know, shout out to those channels that have actually did a story based on this man. Hey, I'm not trying to step on your toes, brother. I respect your shit. I will say this, though. It was ugly for the white guy. The white guy was both taken out on ambulances, him and the Southsider. The norteño did get some scrapes and bruises and some cuts. At the same time, they were able to put him back in a cell and place everyone back in their cells and safely secure them. Whereas this white man was taken to the hospital, as well as the Southsider, who has now subsequently been released from the hospital. He's good in the hood. He's back. I'm sure his homeboys are questioning him. Everybody wants to know exactly what took place. But what took place is what I'm telling you now, straight out the mouth of a that was right there. Now, quietly as it's kept, the Bulldogs are dangerous. Okay? I've told people, we talked about it the other day. Someone, I don't know, some fucking antennas were crossed when someone said, oh, the Bulldogs pulled up to an institution that they were going to try to integrate, and they didn't get off the bus. They refused. The refusal was real. You know what I mean? The get down was fake. Homie, where was their wigglization? Where were their antennas when the norteños were? No. As you can see by what just took place in a fucking very vicious prison like Salinas Valley, the Bulldogs will pull up. They will make the necessary fucking movements. They will handle their business on site. This is what's been happening, bro. We're talking about motherfucking battles that doesn't stab me. I done been in so many wars. Vatos getting thrown in horticulture class through windows. Vatos getting hit with bricks. Vatos getting battery packs, sliced, cut. Pinching butt. Don't pinch my butt. You're the adversary. This is how it goes down. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice because I'm so hostile right now. It's real talk. And with norteños, I mean, if you don't know now, you know. I don't know what planet you're on, Gazoo, with your big ass head. Norteños will always be ready for that action. Whether you're a fucking non-active norteño or an active norteño, everybody can get active and funky. Oh, life is too short, but now we're kind of funky. I make the beats for me and my homies. Too short, you already know what it is, the ghetto. Vatos will handle their business. Traditionally, norteños have been laced that way. It doesn't matter if you done fell off yesterday over a cold bowl of soup that didn't taste too good, or Volta got moved on, disrespected, red on red crimes, cowardice acts, whatever you think. At the end of the day, you can't take the norte and that flame out of their heart. They are what they are. They were born that way, brother. Now, when it comes to sureños, that's a different animal. They are laced a certain way. They are truly dedicated to their beliefs and their policies and their rules and regulations, man. And they carry themselves like that. A Southsider ain't to be reckoned with, bro. You fight one bean, orale, you're going to fight the whole burrito. Orale, you already know in the Southside, man, there's plenty of burritos. Bomb, too. It's bomb over there, especially in Ichilos. But that's just the way it is now. When you sprinkle in the white guys, Sasuke, you know what I mean? If it ain't white, it ain't right, brother. You know, as far as they're concerned, the Woods are a dangerous group. Not necessarily the biggest group in prison, but one of the most treacherous and dangerous groups historically. That's a fact, man. If you sleep on the white boys, you're going to just sleep. Straight up. Forever. You might as well just get a pillow and go to sleep, because they're going to put you there. And of course, no Africanos were involved in this certain situation, but I'm sure if there was an Africano brother that came out, man, he might have got moved on or got put in the melee too. You know, because the active ones feel some type of way too. That's just how it is. They're going to try to stay out of other people's politics for the most part. But in this case, man, being an Africano brother, man, he probably would have backed the play. But I'm not going to put nothing on their play and say what he would have or wouldn't have done. But he probably would have engaged. The main thing is everybody engaged. Okay, when someone runs up on you, you are to engage them. Not like motherfucking the Pelican Bay, right, where people are jumping and falling and fucking trying to climb fences and dig holes and fucking bury. No, you need to engage the adversary. You got to understand, whether it's a sneak attack, yeah, you can take a couple steps back home, secure yourself, and boom, get off. But you need to get off where you're mad at. You never know in prison when things could happen, things could change at the drop of a dime. Then you never know when your crime partner goes into the oil and drops them dimes. Either way, it's ugly. Dimes are everywhere. But this is how it goes down. So yeah, this did take place in Salinas Valley. And this just goes to show you when you automatically assume, oh, if you're active, you function, and drop out saying shit, they're no and not. You know, everyone always got something to say. Well, there it is there, right? For all the people that were saying, oh, the Bulldogs won't show up. Well, they showed up, right? Showed out. They put a motherfucking in a bad condition, right? They put another one in the motherfucking the Metaflight, you know what I mean? They got another one, man. He dropped that pedazo quick. He was like, stand back, on guard, right? He was, norte, what's happening, right? Of course, you know, the norteño is always going to be secured. That's what's up, right on the top. I ain't mad at you, homie. You know what I mean? He was like, fuck that. Dropped that motherfucker con caca y todo. Oh my, right? Ready for whatever. You know, you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And he was. And again, you know, maybe that's what saved his life. Because, you know, with these Bulldogs being ex-Northerners, at one point in time, and then of course you already know where the Nueva Flores stand. They basically are 101 adversaries against Norteños. I think they would have probably tried to kill this guy. They would have made an example, and that's what it is in prison. Everyone's trying to make examples of the next group to elevate their group, to show everyone they don't fuck around, and they showed everybody. You know, if you don't see it for what it is what it is. Now, but I will say this, it shouldn't be all about that, man. Why can't everybody get along? What makes anyone so different? It's a thin wall between love and hate, right? And that wall separated a whole bunch of individuals that really at the end of the day look just like each other, talk just like each other, and are doing time just like each other. But hey, it happens. Anyways, with that being said, man, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. I hope that you get out there and you get out and get some and do whatever you got to do to secure yourself and make it happen for your people. You know, if you like this hood news, I call it hood news. We do it a couple times a week right here on Gunners Profiles. And we're going to get back to the styling and profiling like Pinchy Ric Flair. Woo! You know what I mean? Because that's what we do. I hope you enjoyed Cinco de Mayo yesterday. I hope you had a great day. I will continue my Cinco de Mayo parlay this weekend. And we'll see what happens. Again, please hit that like and subscribe. There's a little fucking notification bell right there. You can tap that, lick that, stick that, hit that. Do whatever you got to do if you want to be notified of my spills that I'm going to drop every day right here on Gunners Profiles, as well as Gunners Collective. Make sure you tap in there. That's where I really get it in. Palo, right? Or you can hit that thumbs down. It's cool. Heavy as the head that wears the crown. I know everybody don't like me. I don't like everybody. And that's just the way it is. And until tomorrow, you already know, man. Don't feel no sorrow. It is what it is. Time is here, homie. Bang, bang.